So probably we can get started, and the rest will jump in and give updates as they jump in the call. I can kick things off with a set of updates for copper. So during the last 2 weeks, we've been working pretty hard to bring a new L2 to the platform, and our work is very close to being complete there. Hopefully, everyone will see an announcement for that in the next day or two. Pretty excited to keep pushing the multi-chain vision here and making copper more accessible. This development is in a direct result of both the community asking for this particular L2 and us getting interest from teams on that front. And let's see what else. So we've pushed also a lot of improvements on the liquidity bootstrapping pool creation part of the platform, and made a bunch of minor improvements all across the app. So you should see quite a few changes kind of in the details of the experience. We've added logarithmic view for the chart, which is really helpful when there's a lot of price discovery in an auction and kind of big changes in the LBP. So you can then kind of see those changes more easily if you view the chart in log view. And then also a number of formatting for prices all across and statistics, and working in parallel to add a lot more on the details regarding like the current state of the tokenomics for a project. So that's work in progress, and we have still a few other big features that are in progress, but those are an all or nothing type situation. So you'll see more on that front once they're ready. And another thing we did was build in resiliency into the app. As some of you know, we are reliant on the graph for indexing data from the blockchain. So in instances when there's trouble there, we worked to create kind of a backup for minimum functionality within the app, so that if something goes wrong there, the LBP can still function, and people can interact with it and swap into it. Yeah, so that's about it on the copper side of things. Trying to think if I missed anything. Yeah, I think that's around all the features we've been working on, and also like the back end is coming along quite well. We're already seeing some of the improvements there with the app resiliency work that is getting pushed through. Does anyone from the community have any questions? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Don, want to give a mistX update next?
Yeah, sure. On my side, on mistX side, so we've given a lot of updates recently with the QA community call. We will start doing a bi-weekly communication, as I said last time. So we're gonna start today. So a bit later today, you're gonna receive the communication. At least we're gonna at least post it on Twitter. And in one of the channels, not the main channel, not the announcement channel, because that would be too much announcements, but we're going to post it in one of the channels on Discord. So mostly the, the update on our side is that we've, as you know already, I guess, we fixed a lot of those issues that we had at launch. I will just mention a few of those, which are the most important one that we've faced. We've fixed the signing issues. So normally you should not have any signing issues anymore. There was, for those who don't know, there was random signing issues with certain amounts and not others. It was a bit difficult to track, but we went to the bottom of it. We've added also a warning if you are connecting your ledger to MetaMask and not directly connecting your ledger to mistX. So if you don't know, Ledger works on mistX, but you have to directly connect your ledger to mistX. If you do connect with MetaMask, you're going to be able to go up to the signing process, but the signing will fail. So now we are showing a nice message explaining that you have to connect to your ledger directly. We've also detected, we're now detecting, sorry, the Brave browser and the compatibility with Brave browser. If you use the Brave browser, it works well if you use MetaMask, but it will not work if you use the in-app Brave wallet due to a limitation on the Brave wallet. So what we are doing now is we are detecting that you're using Brave browser, and we are making sure to explain that on display. Something that you will not see directly because it's not directly on the UI. It's that we've released a new pricing service version, so it's an optimized version, so it should work even better than what it was working at launch. We fixed several issues across the board on the backend and the pricing services and things that you will not directly see. So everything is quite optimized and it works pretty well, I would say. Then we've mentioned it already, but we are working on smart contracts, new version of smart contracts. This is in progress. We are progressing quite well on this. I don't have an ETA yet, but hopefully we will have completed this as soon as possible. And then with the team, we are sorry. One more thing, we are also, but you know this already. Normally, we are working on limit orders, so this is in progress as well. I don't have an ETA either, but this has progressed quite well. We're in a phase where we are completing the UI and we need to make sure that the orders are being sent and that we can get the status of the orders and things like this. So we're really in the middle of it. And then as a whole team and with other people, we are and with some partners, we are discussing strategy to make sure that we take the right decisions in the way we allocate resources. So as you know, we have very limited resources. So it's really important for us to follow what we announced in the roadmap, but also follow it in a smart way where we can deliver the highest value for users first, and also the highest ROI for the community at the same time. So it's a mix of both, and we are revising everything to make sure that we push the priorities in the correct way, so that we have the best outcome for everyone. So this is what we are doing these days, and yeah, I think we're in a really much better situation. I mean, we've discussed about this within the QA call already, but most people that use mistX v2 really enjoy using mistX v2 and have really a great experience. We are adding more warnings as well to protect you better than what we were doing at launch. I can give an example. For example, if you this is not yet released, it will be released probably in the next few days. But if you are doing a swap where your value is less than the fees, for example, you trade USDC to ETH and you trade 10 USDC to ETH and the fees are 70 USDC, then we are warning you that basically you're going to lose money because you're trading $10 and you're going to pay $70 of fees. So this is the type of things that we're adding. We're also adding a message. This is already live. We've added a message where if you trade a low liquidity token, then, for example, if your value in USD is $10,000, and then the token is not liquid, the outcome could be that the value could be really reduced in the output. So it could be like $100, for example. So we're also putting a warning here, and this is live already, where if it goes above a certain percentage, we're warning you that you're going to lose a lot of money here as well. So those are the stuff that we've added, in addition to all the things that everybody requested during the QA and the recent reception of the testing phase. Does anyone have a question about mistX? All right, so I guess if not, we can maybe switch to the next topic.
So I see somebody raised their hand, and I invited them on stage, but I think they moved back into the audience. Oh no, there they are.
Cool.
Are they? Hey, can you hear us?
I think you're on mute.
Well, in the meantime, anybody else have any questions?
I can add something actually, because this happened yesterday with a user, and this is a rare case, but this is important to know. So we are going to add a few things in the FAQ. One important thing that I believe is missing in the FAQ is explaining that the protection works perfectly well. It protects you from the bots, and your transaction is sent to the miners privately, utilizing the Flashbots technology. But there is a hedge case which is called the uncle block situation, in which case your transaction will be published to the mempool. In a few words, I can explain how it works, but in a few words, this happens when your block, the block on which the transaction has been sent to, is mined twice by two different miners. One of those blocks will be valid and attached to the blockchain, and the other block will be attached to the blockchain as an uncle block and will not be continued. This uncle block, and this is the way Ethereum network works. This is not something that we control, and this is true for anyone on the market. This uncle block exposes all the transactions it processes on the mempool. It lands on chain basically. So because of that, you could be not protected in that very specific edge case. And I think it's important to know that this is a possibility. According to the statistics, it's about 1 in every 20 blocks that becomes uncled. So it's relatively rare, and we have very rare cases where this happens on mistX. But this is not it never happens. This happens sometimes. You will still enjoy protection in 99, or I don't have, I will not say a percentage because it will probably be false at the end calculated, but in most cases you will have the full protection using mistX.
Hey, so for the user that came on stage, do you have a question for the mistX team?
HJN, sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Do you want to, you're on mute now, but we can't hear you. Do you have a question, or do you want to go back to the audience?
Okay, we'll move you back to the audience. Cool. Thanks for the updates, Don. And we have here Ninja and Hypermilla from the Crucible team with their updates.
Yeah, I can go first. Hello, everyone. So in the last 2 weeks, we've been working on a few things. Firstly is the L2 integration. We want users to be able to have the chance to subscribe to reward programs on other chains. Obviously, with some benefits being less gas costs and things like that. Hopefully, we can after this L2 integration have more L2 integrations. So that's part of the plan for Crucible, which I think users would find exciting. Also, we've been building some functionality to allow users to sell their Crucibles on the main Crucible site. We've had to create some new smart contracts for this, which are currently in testing. But the plan is this feature would also allow us to display any artwork or NFTs that we release in the future. In terms of artwork, so we've been in contact with OpenSea, and they've been really slow with getting back to us. So until they do, unfortunately, you won't be able to see your the 3D representation of your Crucible on OpenSea. But we have made some progress on generating screenshots of all your Crucibles, which should be displayed on the collections view. So that's coming together really well. We've created some scripts that does the screenshotting and just doing a bit of work to make sure that's scalable and can be used for not only generating the initial screenshots, but updating those screenshots as your Crucibles update as well. Also, we've been simplifying the onboarding process for new reward programs. Right now, it's a bit manual, so we want to move towards a not fully permissionless, but somewhere in between where organizations or other communities can create a reward program from like a simple interface, and we can basically review the program and then add it to our site once we're happy. And that's going to reduce a lot of like manual labor, and hopefully more reward programs would be willing to onboard with us because of this new experience that we're going to be providing to them. So I'll pass over to Hyper to speak about the creative side of things.
Hey, thank you. So we've been working on some more long-term stuff for Crucible on the creative side. First of all, we're doing a new logo for the Crucible as a project. So I'm working on the kind of a rebranding. The Crucible never had a logo in itself of its own. So we're doing some great progress there, and I hope to be able to share soon the results of this work. We've also been working together with the dev team on this marketplace and in introducing some new features with new ways for people to interact with their Crucibles. Mostly, a lot of people asked for ways to customize and change some parts of their Crucible, and that's been heavily on our minds. And we've been working on some design systems to make that happen, and that could also tie in very well with the new marketplace features and the new contracts that Ninja just mentioned. And also, we've been doing some work on concepts on how to bring the Crucible artwork to other chains in the best way possible. We think that it's important to bring the artwork to L2s whenever we finish the integration. And we think it's nice to have the artwork there, that it's a very important feature of the product, and that would be good to have the chance to put it in hands of more people. But at the same time, we want to keep them recognizable and differentiated in a way to also try to keep the value of the mainnet, to keep the Crucibles on mainnet that are more exclusive, more expensive, keep them recognizable and unique, differentiated in their own sense. So that's something that we've been working on. And yeah, I think that's basically it. We also have some new features to be released soon on the artwork itself, that we've just been working on trying to get some even better looking effects and dealing with some technical issues, but we should have an update on some of our things, some of the features that we promised last year, like some new graphics options and new visuals for some crucibles. So yeah, that's basically what we've been working on. Does anyone have any questions for me or for Ninja, for the Crucible team?
Hey, I think this is probably more of a question for Noor. I was just wondering, when can we expect to see V3 integration? I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe Crucible only allows V2 reward programs. I've noticed most new projects tend to launch on V3 now. So, you know, I just wondering when we can kind of expect to have that functionality enabled.
Yeah, that's a good question. We do have a few things on our roadmap that we want to tackle first. So we really haven't scoped in V3, but I think moving forward in our next strategy meetings is definitely something we're going to consider. So sorry, I can't give you an exact time, but definitely something we do want to have in the near future.
Okay, cheers, thanks.
Cool. Any more questions for Ninja or Hypermilla? All right. Thanks, guys. Daniel, do you want to maybe give a quick update regarding some of the developments on the incubation front since the last community call?
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to. So just a quick reminder first about the council voting. So council voting is still ongoing, and there's 1 week left in order to cast your votes for who you would like to join and take part in the Alchemist Council. So just a reminder that the council is responsible for determining the funding of new incubation projects as well as the continued funding of existing projects. So it's a very important role within the Alchemist community. After the last community call, where I put out a call requesting people with incubation, VC, BizTech experience to reach out and to sort of engage and explore how they could help in order to boost the incubation side of Alchemist, we had a few different people and teams reach out. So we have some different conversations ongoing in parallel, and some really exciting teams and people that are quite interested in potentially working with Alchemist and helping bolster our incubation. So hopefully we have some updates in the coming weeks around that. We've also had some more incubation applications come through in the last week. So we're working with some teams. There's one specifically we're working with to help them draft their proposal, such that when the Alchemist Council is formed, they'll have a proposal and hopefully a few proposals ready to go that they can vote on it and determine whether they would be relevant candidates for being incubated within Alchemist. And yeah, just another sort of small update on the general operations side. We've, as mistX and Copper have been sort of gaining more traction and more traffic, we're seeing some increased costs in some of our external infrastructure services. So we're doing some investigations to see how we can sort of in-house some of these various solutions in order to bring more of the tech in-house, as well as to streamline and reduce some of our costs, some of our sort of general operational costs across the project. Yeah, any questions on that front for myself or anyone here?
Seems like a no.
Okay, back to you, Ree.
So yeah, that's about all the updates, but we have one more update. It's big one here, and a lot of people have been waiting for this for a while. So, everybody asks when marketing, and we've been working on that front and interviewing candidates for the Alchemist marketing position, and it's been a few weeks, but we have somebody on board now, and she is on the call now. Like I'm about to, let's see, there she is. I'll invite her on stage. So I want to introduce Amy to everybody. Welcome to the Alchemist community, and Amy, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your background. Welcome on board. Hey, unfortunately, we can't hear you.
It could be a issue with permissions and your microphone not having permissions in Discord.
Or push to talk.
Yeah, it might be a setting where you have to push on the microphone to talk. Sometimes that's a problem. Well, that's the challenge of these live calls. Sometimes things don't go exactly as expected. I want to say that the whole team was really impressed while interviewing Amy, and she brings a lot of experience and kind of working with helping grow smaller brands, and more recently working with the crypto community and helping them grow, and faced with very similar challenges that we've had with an Alchemist, of education, of refining narratives and messages. So she's a great candidate for the role, and we're really excited to see what she can do here. I'm not sure, Amy, if you managed to solve the mic problems, but again, welcome on board from everybody, and we're excited to have you. And I guess that concludes the community call. Maybe Amy can try to do a proper introduction next time, or there'll be another opportunity later next week. So Amy will be starting full-time Alchemist marketing on next Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.